Thank you for choosing T Vinyl Railing. The T Vinyl Rail system is a low-maintenance, affordable option engineered with many features found in more expensive rail products. Each T kit contains a set of easy-to-follow instructions that will enable you to assemble the railing very quickly. Gather the tools needed to complete the job. Crosscut saw, measuring tape, drill motor with a 1/8 inch drill bit, a Phillips head screw bit, a level, clamps, a hammer, and a pencil. In this installation, 4x4 wooden posts have already been securely installed with the proper spacing to accommodate the new vinyl rail sections. Locate the proper size vinyl post sleeves and slide them over the existing 4x4 posts. Each section of your T vinyl railing will be installed between two rail posts. Make sure the post base trim is in place before installing the rails. To prepare for the rail installation, cut two 2-inch wood spacer blocks. Position the spacers between the posts to temporarily assist in aligning the rail section. If you are not using your rails at their full length, you will have to cut the rails to size. Start by placing a bottom rail on the spacer block across the post opening, leaving equal spacing from the last baluster hole and post on each end. Next, mark the bottom rail 1/8 inch from the end of the post to allow room for the bracket and expansion. Finish by aligning the top rail with the bottom rail and mark the top rail. Now, cut both rails with a miter box, hacksaw, or chop saw. Note that you will have to cut through an aluminum insert in the top rail. Now you are ready to install the bottom rail. Start by sliding a rail bracket cover and bracket onto each end of the rail. Ensure that the bracket is level and centered to the post. Be sure to hold the bracket firmly in place when drilling on an angle. Use a 1/8 inch drill bit to carefully pre-drill the first bottom bracket screw hole, drilling through the bracket hole, post sleeve, and post. Then, drive the first number 10, 1 1/2 inch screw through the bottom bracket into the post. Pre-drill and screw in the remaining 3 screws for the first bottom bracket. Attach the second bottom bracket in the same way. The kit comes with 2 balusters with lock tabs on end. Install those 2 balusters in the holes closest to the end posts. The baluster lock tabs must face the outer edge of the routed holes. Next, insert the balusters into the remaining holes on the bottom rail. Be sure to place the brackets on both ends of the top rail before attaching the top rail to the balusters. To attach the top rail, beginning at one side of the rail, align the first baluster with the first routed hole. Snap the top rail into position. Continue down the rail, snapping the balusters into the top rail. Make sure rails are fully seated with balusters and that they are level and centered to post sleeve. Then, using a 1/8 inch drill bit, pre-drill the first top bracket screw hole. Drill through the bracket hole, vinyl post sleeve, and vinyl insert, and loosely install the first number 10 1 1/2 inch screw. Remember, when drilling on an angle, be sure to hold the bracket firmly in place. Repeat the pre-drilling process for the remaining 3 screws and tighten all screws. Remember to go back and tighten the first screw. Attach the second bracket the same way. Once the brackets are secured to the posts, install the side bracket screws. For each installed bracket, pre-drill in the center of each elongated hole with a 1/8 inch drill bit. Note that in some cases, you will be drilling through aluminum as well as the vinyl railing. Now, install number 10 1-inch screws in all pre-drilled holes. Each bracket comes with a small vinyl cover. Match the letter on the bracket cover to the letter on the bracket and snap them into place. In this next section, we will show you how to install a stair rail using pre-molded brackets. First, measure and cut a 1 1/4 deck board and temporarily secure the deck board spacer on the nose of the stairs between the posts. The thickness of the deck board will determine the space between the stairs and the bottom rail. Pre-assemble the rail by placing the balusters in the bottom rail. The kit comes with 2 balusters with lock tabs on the end. Install those 2 balusters on the ends closest to posts. Snap the remaining balusters into the bottom rail and align and snap them into the top rail. Now ask an assistant to help move the pre-assembled rail into position on the 1 1/4 deck board spacer. Slide the rail up or down until the baluster hole spacing is even on each end. To allow for the proper bracket fit, position and clamp the rail in place to assist with assembly. Mark the post line on each rail end, leaving 1/8 inch for expansion. After both ends of the rail are marked, remove the assembly and cut each of the rail ends so the baluster holes fit evenly between the posts. Once the rails are cut, reassemble the railing. Remember to use the 2 balusters with lock tabs on the end holes closest to posts. As in the pre-assembly step, snap the center, non-tabbed balusters into the bottom rail, then insert the other end into the corresponding holes in the top rail. Next, slide a bracket onto each end of the bottom and top rail ends. Now reposition the rail between the post on the 1 1/4 inch deck board. Slide the brackets against the posts. Once you have checked for a proper fit and plumb, you are ready to attach the brackets to the rails. Using a 1/8 inch drill bit, carefully pre-drill the first bottom bracket in the center of the elongated screw hole. You will need to drill through the bracket hole, post jacket, and post. When drilling on an angle, be sure to hold the bracket firmly in place. Then drive the first number 10 1-inch mounting screw through the bottom bracket into the post. Now pre-drill and screw in the remaining 3 screws for the first bottom bracket. Be careful not to over-tighten the screw or the bracket may crack. Continue attaching the 3 remaining brackets in the same fashion. Once the brackets are secured to the posts, install the side bracket screws. For each installed bracket, pre-drill in the center of each elongated hole with a 1/8 inch drill bit. Note that in some cases, you will be drilling through aluminum as well as the vinyl railing. Now, install number 10 1-inch screws in all pre-drilled holes. Once all the screws are installed, you can snap the bracket covers in place. Match the letters on the inside of the bracket cover to the letter on the bracket. Our T top railings are beautiful, durable, and easy to install. Finally, add the post caps. Congratulations on installing your new T top railing. Learn more by visiting us at longevityfencesystems.com.